Hello and welcome back. Okay, so we are at Finstermark and I've sold some things to make room in the inventory. I also decided that we won't be doing any of these contracts here. What I could have done is do these beast contracts to get rid of this condition here to be able to sell for a better price, but I won't do so. Instead, we will travel to the south, to Himmelsdorf, or perhaps all the way to Amhabal, see if we can get a better selling price at one of those places. I've also made a couple of equipment changes. So first of all, Eldascendis is now using this famed one-handed axe, which is not fantastic, but it's okay. And chopping costs 7 fatigue now, with all of the fatigue cost reduction that she gets from Perfect Fit as well as Mind over Body, as well as Axe Mastery. Even so, we may need to invest in some more stamina stuff, because Berserk plus Patient Hunter, and potentially in the future, Inspire may mean that she runs out of stamina too quickly, though obviously we can inspire someone else if it comes to that. The other change that I've made is that Adhit is now using this old War Scythe, which has enhanced damage as well as effectiveness against armor. So Sula's sickle is now delegated to a backup weapon role. Apart from that, I think I made like a few armor switches, but nothing major. So I think that covers it. Now let's get going. So let's go through Lurchenfeste probably, yeah. And the quickest route is through the hills here. We also see Brigand plus Barbarian tracks, but I will ignore those. Also, I do think that this origin with its constant undead crisis should be tuned down a bit, because we are in the greenskin crisis now, yet we see way more undead groups than we see greenskin groups. Honestly, it's getting to be a little bit too much for me. Though seemingly this group of undead has been defeated. I'm fine with the undead crisis repeating, but when it's basically the only thing that's happening, it gets a little bit old. Anyways, we are nearly at Lurchenfeste. So let's see if we can finally find perhaps the training tent. Have to wait for dawn though. And it seems we've already repaired basically everything. Well, I'll just assign some gatherers, I guess. So let's assign everyone there. Except let's put the cook back in the kitchen. A man's place is in the kitchen. Alright, anything else? Yes, one scout would be nice. Or maybe even two. Let's go wild with 2 scouts. Ignore those contracts available there. Alright, let's see. Alas, no tents for sale. There are some books. A dedication book is for sale, but of course we can't make a damn hood, nor have we found even a single one in this run so far, somehow. Anyways, let's get some tools. See how many that is. Alright, so 1 more stack. As well as some ammo. Okay, check the weapons. See nothing. How about armor? No. No. Famed helmet for sale, it's kind of bad and overpriced, so we will pass. How about recruits? We can fit some people in still. There's a couple of shield maidens here. Okay, well, let's see. So, Alina the Swine, I think this means she is gluttonous, but that's fine. No, she's fat, alright. 2-star melee defense, 1-star melee skill may be good enough, maybe. The other one I will pass on. Alright, well, Alina the Swine, let's see. Are you any good? 56 melee skill. 1 star. 11 melee defense. Alright, I'd say this is good enough. Not spectacular, but good enough. Okay, let's take student. And also I think at some point we will let Sunniva the Slinger wannabe go, because yeah, she seems like she's the weakest link and I haven't found a famed sling. But anyways, Alina the Swine. So yes, let's take hit points, melee skill and melee defense. And let's give you some stuff. Doesn't need to be perfect by any means, so why not have something like that for now. Let's also give you one of those. And I guess we are actually carrying too many nets, but sure, you can have a couple of them. But I should perhaps get rid of these 4, because we just reuse the ones that we have. Okay, sure, we'll check Rabe here as well. I don't think so. Though, if he were to roll well, I guess he could be usable, but let's pass, And just in case this 3-skull marauding greenskins contract is to the south, I guess I'll see. Otherwise I won't be doing it, I don't think. Around Weistat. Okay, so that's in the north, right? Yes. Way over there. No, just no. We will just continue southwards. Alright, even more undead. The only way these fights would be of any kind of danger or enjoyment would be to combine them into one fight. Perhaps we could do that. So that would mean there's like up to 4 necromancers, it seems. Anyways, I guess we'll deal with them, but yeah. Can I get all of you? Yes, no? I think no. I don't think that's all of them. Or is it 32 opponents? Well, if so, we are actually perhaps getting a slight challenge here. Also, it seems like Sicklewold's double-tongued trait has triggered here. Anyway, so let's see. 3 necromancers over here. Does this... Are all of the enemies here? Well, I'm not going to count. Perhaps there's some to the north. We'll see. Okay, out of curiosity, yes, the embalmed slaves do have shield expertise. Shield damage is 45 with this. So is it worth doing that? Yeah. Seems to be, right? It's going to just destroy this in one go, right? Shield damage received is reduced by 50%. So that's going to be 22... Okay, not quite. Not quite in one go, it seems. Unless Shield Breaker also grants... I don't remember. Does it grant something else? Plus 50% damage to shields when using Split Shield, but it's already here. I think. Yes, it is. Anyways, that's a lot of thinking about basically something that has no consequence really here. Doesn't really matter if I go for it or not. Alright, let's see here. So let's rotate. Actually, no, Havrit's Warden is in the way. Unless I rotate like this. Well, I guess I can do that. Get Sickle Vault in there. Let's use some nets. Alright, Savant coming in. If I move here with Payan, is that... Well, it doesn't really matter because these enemies are resistant. And also immune to the poison that we now have on this weapon. But let's do some armor damage. Okay, rotate over here. And by the way, I've still not used the climb ability even once. I guess partly because I keep on forgetting, and partly because I keep on avoiding mountain fights. Well, anyways, let's see. So Haldemar, it's your job to take damage, or rather to make yourself a target. Okay, well, should have said it the other way around. Anyways. Step into the miasma or not? I guess we do. There you go, and use this perhaps. It's only 7 fatigue, let's use it. Alright, and you use that as usual. Okay, so where is the other polearm? There's too many people. Can't find the other one. Where the hell is the other one? Oh, over there. Behind Gerard. Anyways, it seems like getting good reaps here is surprisingly difficult. I guess we can do 2 here. And Aton, what will you do? Just move there. Okay, Gerard, go for the Savant. Nice to have a 95% there. And so did Lady Eleanor. Were you the one? Yes, you have Patient Hunter. Feels kind of like a waste to use a net here. How about the disarm though? Are we getting enough damage? Probably not yet. I'll just do this. Okay, and success. Could even move somewhat aggressively here with Engelard. Is there an enemy there? No, so we can't get a good reap anyways. Disappointing. Well, I guess we just make do with a less optimal one. Can I get here? Not without footwork, it seems. Well, 2 targets is more than 1. Strange rotation there. No comment. Oh yes, and I had actually forgotten, we actually do have perfect focus for Archid, so I should actually use it sometime. Anyways, mark some targets. Nice going. I don't know, maybe with the battle flow, Eldascendis won't really run out of stamina anytime soon. Anyways, so that hits Alice. This hits 2 enemies. Okay. Okay. Pretty soon we can go for the necromancers here. Also, let's see. So Aton has 100 melee defense. Which means, I guess, reaping is on the table. Chance to hit Aton 34. I guess I'll go for it again. Well, there you go, getting hit in the head, but you do have Steel Brow. Okay, let's not use this during this turn anymore. Also, I guess I'll mention it. So, if you've paid attention, I have said that I have a slight fungus gnat problem. Now, very skillfully, just there, a minute ago, I muted the mic and killed one, and then unmuted the mic again. I'm very proud of myself. Anyways, with that said, let's continue with the actual game. There's really no disarms that I care about. Let's just get the whip back. Okay, it's not much, but it's honest work. And I am, yes, I am liking this famed axe. We can do a lot better than that, but still. Alright, Sicklewold, that's 2 now. Not cool. Decidedly uncool of you to miss twice like that. Okay, well, something's in the air tonight, it seems. And it's not love. Alright, well, at least this is a good opportunity to try out a run-through. Quite nice. Now, the dangerous thing here is that the necromancers will keep on raising this stupid embalmed for this Curse of the Mummy, which will get applied on us over and over and over. So that's kind of a slight problem here. But mostly just slight. Anyways, as soon as I get someone there, the problem will be taken care of. And honestly, even with this amount of necromancers, we kind of easily outkill their summoning, raising capabilities. Kind of crowded. Nice. So the coast is almost clear. There is a honor guard over there though. But Eldasend is surely capable of handling one honor guard. Getting through that spear is not going to be guaranteed though. Especially if possessed. Would be better to get one of these tanky types there. Anyways, I guess we'll go for it. Nicely done. Okay, I'll just send Aton out. Let's see if he can dodge that. Yes. Excellent work. Off with your head. We've killed so many of these Höllenhunds, but we only have one Banshee essence from Winsel Matters. One of the irritating things about this campaign so far. Just stay there. Don't even bother with your staff. Alright, wait for this target to be gone. Surely we will be able to manage that. Sickle bolt finally hits something. Right, no allies there. Alright, so far the poison rune has done nothing, as we've just been fighting enemies that are immune basically. So I'm not sure. Perhaps we'll go with the feeding rune if I ever find a famed gun. Because using perfect focus is obviously quite costly for Payan. Or at the very least he needs some stamina perks still. Okay, so let's see. 50 melee skill. I could just go around. Yeah, let's just go around, I think. Get out of here. Even with two groups of enemies like this, honestly feels like another Monday for us. Just the same thing, just the same job. Well, it gets us pay at least. Just stay there for now. So yeah, I think the late game scaling should definitely be increased, at least on legendary difficulty. Because honestly, it's been way too easy, and I even have the world editor difficulty scaling at the maximum. Most of the fights just seem like auto wins, without almost any chance for a single casualty even. But yeah, anyways, let's go for it. Now, I will say things like that, and then it will be true for, like, let's say 10 battles in a row, and then I will make some stupid mistake, and someone will die. Kind of already did that when Eldasendis got struck down, as I overestimated her. Or perhaps underestimated the opponents instead. But yeah, once I set up the Stronghold, that may actually provide plenty of challenge. Not sure how the world editor difficulty scaling will affect it, if it will. If it does, then it's certainly going to be exciting, as we will need to defend the Stronghold. Once it's set up, I guess I'll take a look, if I remember after this battle, just what it says about that. Okay, please die. Alright, not even good manners will be enough. Gerard doing work. Seven left. We'll get there. Okay, can I shoot this? Yes. No, is that seriously? Is that hitting Wildroot? It shouldn't. No, it's not. It just looks like it is, I think. There you go, the poison is actually in. It's doing something. Hooray. Actually have taken some damage on Aton. jeez. Alright, you can't do anything there. Okay. This terrain. This terrain. Die already. Jeez. Okay. Oh dear. Seriously? Okay. Okay, sure. Why not? Why not? Off with your ugly heads. That goes for you too. Yes. Alright. One pallid bastard left. Go to sleep. Forever. Okay, there we go. Couple of level ups. A decent amount of experience for everyone. Lady Holly, level 7, takes Nimble. And that's a pretty bad level there. Yeah. What are the odds? Okay, I'll take the hit points. And now that you're nimble, I guess I should also give you nimble armor. That's what you want, right? Okay, let's see. Do I still have one of those 25 barbarian helmets with 0 stamina penalty? It doesn't look like it, but I will use one of those pieces. Sure, we can use that as a base. Alright, where did it go? Jeez, over there. Okay, so yes, that's steel brow nimble good enough, I think. Then to mess with this, let's first take these off. And then just take this off, right, like so. And then do we have something that fits the bill? I guess I could go with something garbage-ish, like this. We're lacking the nimble stuff, it seems. But we are headed south, so surely we will find some juicy nomads and rob their gear. Okay, how about if I do something along these lines? 17, that's too heavy. That is too heavy. 51%. I mean, that's not terrible, I guess. 43%. Let's go with that. That's good enough. And then, I guess I should also give you something there. If I can find that something. Right, let's take... Let's see, this. There you go. A bold fashion statement. Ita, level 8. Alright, so doesn't have fortified mind. Which means mind over body, not really doing anything. I guess I'll still take the +3 resolve. And also take more stamina, because inspiring others is heavy work. Okay, so take inspire. Push your allies beyond their limits. Okay, so at this point, let's give you a shield instead of a net. Do I not have famed shields left in the inventory? It seems I don't. Well, you can have a heater shield. Okay, and then nets. And then we should also probably camp for a bit. Good enough there. Guess I'll also salvage some things here. Okay, I've mentioned this before. With our tools repair efficiency, I guess it may be worthwhile to repair basically everything and then sell it. But I'm not going to bother. So instead I'll just salvage some things that may actually be better to repair and sell. Money is basically a non-issue in Legends, I think, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Even when there's so many things to spend money on, it's also so easy to make it. At the moment, at least. Okay, no injuries, but some hit points damage taken, so over there. And can we craft anything? Nothing that I care about. Haldemar is afraid. And I thought only children had such silly fears. We've killed like 1,000 undead by now. And still he continues to be afraid. Well, I guess that's not really a good reason to not be afraid. We're not really making any kind of dent in their numbers. And if I think about actual, real wars, etc., killing your enemies, even if you're efficient, doesn't necessarily mean you don't suffer the mental consequences. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I forgive you. There is a caravan. But yeah, even if it were to spawn something nice, I think the priority is to get a good selling price. Check out a few of these recruits here. Not quite good enough, I don't think. Would be nice if I could see the actual ranges of stats here. I know there's at least one mod to do so. But for somewhat like rare backgrounds, like these young bloods, I have no idea. Like seemingly mediocre-ish, mediocre plus stat ranges to start out with. He is strong and tough, with a star in kind of relevant things. 1,000. I'm sure we can do better than this guy, but he may be worth. I'll leave him there. Maybe if someone dies, we'll come back and get him. Okay, so eventually I will want some uncut gems to make runes. So if I wanted those, I should also get rid of the terrified villagers condition. But seemingly I actually can't do that. Not with these contracts. Okay, let's have a drink. I don't think we've had a drink yet. It's been quite a while. We had a murder here. Some bastard from Trumwacht put a knife into the back of one of the merchants. He'll see the news on Sunday. You should come watch. Okay, we've seen enough death, to be honest. It doesn't really entertain us anymore. Okay, so let's go to Finstermark. But first, let's deal with a group of Alps with some, well, a few demon Alps. So do I change my gear for this? So last time, it's been I think quite a while, if memory serves, since I fought a single demon Alp, but they summon shadow-like creatures, which are, I don't know, can I call them tough? Well, they're not easy. But yeah, I'm not sure if they've been changed since then. At least I haven't heard anything about that. But anyways, now is a good time to find out. Honestly, not sure if we even care about making any equipment changes here. Yeah, let's just go, I think. Though, do I make a lineup change? Probably not. I'll make one adjustment though, which is to get the polearms on the flanks. Those polearms at least. The reaping polearms. Okay, let's see. We should be able to catch up. If not, then... Okay, never mind, it seems we can't. Okay, well, we carry on. Guess we could kill these guys over here. It's going to be over pretty quickly. I've said this so many times, but I think the game would really benefit from having like an auto battle feature. So there would just be a dialogue pop-up which would say that you won and took like an injury or something, and then easy fights like this, you wouldn't have to do them if you didn't want to. Oh yes. Actually, I'm not sure if this works the same way in Vanilla and Reforged, but cannot rally others the same turn as being rallied themselves. Alright. Honestly, I don't remember if that's Legends specific or not. But yeah, Sicklewold once again ranting about entropy. I suppose I can relate. That means I get +2 action points. Alright, yes, you have Inspire now. Whom would you inspire here? Honestly, not sure. So was there just one Necromancer? I think we just stay still. Yeah, let's just stay still. I'll end round with everyone who isn't... I mean, we'll get to the Necromancer. We'll get to him. But I'll just inspire someone for next round. And that someone may as well be Eldescendis. Okay, now we wait. Wait. And wait. Then we go to town. Mel Gibson has finally had enough waiting. One of the most annoying tropes, I think, in films TV, books, and games as well in the cutscenes is the archer volley. When, for some reason, they want you to shoot your arrows or bolts or what have you. So I'm not paying any attention, so I did that. But anyways, so they want them to go off at the same time. Like, why? And also, in those films, etc., the manner in which they do it is that they start pulling the bowstring back and then they just hold it. They just keep on holding it. Like, why would you do that? That is incredibly tough to do. Now, of course, I guess you could argue that it's cinematic or something, but I think it's stupid. Anyways, not sure why I'm ranting about that here, but... Oh yes, it's because the waiting brought Mel Gibson to mind. There is that somewhat famous... Well, I don't know if it's famous, but in The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, I think there is... Spoiler alert! Okay, that's a joke. There is a scene in which a very old archer is doing that very same thing and he just can't hold it. So he lets the arrow loose and it hits an orc. And the orcs are enraged by this. Anyways, that's just... That trope seems to repeat over and over, and I've also seen that now that I've been reading again, I've encountered that in literature as well. And I think it's mostly because the said author was influenced by scenes such as that in films, etc. But yeah, anyways, let's get through this fight here. And one other thing is, why would you say fire if you're letting an arrow go? Like, if you don't even have a concept of a firearm, why would you say fire? The devil is in the details. I'm sure there's plenty of people that don't care about such things, but... If the details... If they... Let's say, the easily... corrected details are not corrected, then you can pretty safely assume that there's other things as well that the creative minds didn't really care about or know about. And it can really bring you out of the thing you're watching or reading. Now, I'm not saying that Battle Brothers is like a realistic game. I mean, here we are fighting undead. But it feels like kind of a realistic setting in some strange way. Now, obviously this is Legends as well, and we have a spirit out in the field. We're using magic. We're fighting necromancers. So it is by no means realistic. But in this setting, all of those little details that perhaps are not quite correct or realistic, they don't really bother me. And I suppose in other media as well, if it's done well enough, even if there's inconsistencies or mistakes or what have you, they won't really be a deal breaker. you can look past them or not even notice them. I guess one other trope that I hate even more than the archer volley is when people don't use helmets or any kind of headgear. I've ranted about this in the past, I guess, so I'll keep it brief here, but Game of Thrones is one of the best or worst examples of this, especially when they were beyond the wall. Like, maybe some of the lesser characters, they had helmets, but not the main ones. Of course not. You need to see the face. For some reason. Even if it makes, like, zero sense. Like, you're clad in furs otherwise, but your head is uncovered. Like, forgetting the combat aspect, even, of protecting the head, which is the most important part of your body, I dare say. Just protecting it from the cold. Not something they want to do. That is a very common one, of course, in many films, TV shows that take place in some kind of historical setting or fantasy setting. Most of the minor characters, the nameless ones who can die willy-nilly and no one cares about, they will have somewhat accurate gear, but the main ones, often enough at least, don't have a helmet. And you could definitely do it with some realism, some historical accuracy, or whatever you call it. Not the best example, perhaps, but the film... and now I'm forgetting what the name of the film is. Anyways, the Judge Dredd film with Karl Urban. I don't think Dredd takes his helmet off even once. And when you compare that with the Stallone version from the 90s, the difference is quite stark indeed. And it's pretty easy to say which one of those is the better film. Now, that's obviously not the only thing that makes it better, but it's one aspect of the film. And the devil is in the details, like I said earlier. But perhaps it's just me, because I often have trouble in turning my brain off and just enjoying things. Even if my brain is often, or at least seems like it is, somewhat defective. Anyways, rambling about this nonsense does, at least for me, pass the time here in these non-issue battles. Hope you don't mind. Then there's also the issue of if it's seemingly realistic enough in how the actual battles and fighting choreography, well, I can't say that word, it seems, but you know what I mean, how that is displayed. They'll often do these very silly moves, like spinning around. Or let's just say something like, okay, yes, I have the perfect example, kind of. I recently watched the film Excalibur from the 80s, I think, for the first time. Now, there's quite a few good things in that film, but overall I found it quite like mediocre-ish. And I suppose I won't go into all of the details, but one of the details, which perhaps doesn't even matter for most people, is the way in how the battle and fighting scenes were. So, in that film, it also, well, let's explain the backstory a bit. So it's about obviously about King Arthur, etc. So medieval-ish stuff and some fantasy elements. But anyways, there's a lot of knights in shining armor, and the armor, I don't know if it's that realistic, the armor itself, but it looks fine. It looks quite sturdy. It looks like it will easily fend off slashing attacks from swords, etc. But not in the film, because any kind of weapon they use, whether it be some kind of sword or hammer or axe, one hit in the armor, that will be enough. It will kill whoever's in the armor. Like, they will barely glance at the back of some knight there in that film, and like I said, one hit, one kill. Like, just a scratch. Something that the Black Knight from Monty Python would have laughed off easily. And there won't be even any blood, usually, in that film. But yeah, they'll just die to one swing. I mean, that's the most egregious example of that trope that I can think of, but obviously that as well is a common one, in that armor does nothing. And I think it would be fairly easy to make a similar piece of media that showed that armor actually does do things. It will protect its wearer. I mean, how much more effort would that be, honestly? Anyway, one enemy left here. There we go. Got some money out of that. And I suppose one less location to spawn these irritating endless patrols of undead. Alright, so let's go to Himmelsdorf now. Okay, so ambushed trade routes as well as a drought. As well as an event. which is just flavor. Okay, so I don't think we'll do any of these contracts, but we should have a good selling price, which is what we came here for. So let's see. 27. Let's get rich. Okay, so I could salvage stuff like that, but let's not bother. I'll keep one of these axes around, I guess. Let's keep at least one of these ancient fan axes as well. I'll sell the war sites. Military golden dag, perhaps I will keep. This is a pretty bad cleaver. I will get rid of it, I think. Okay, sell these helmets here. Okay, so now let's assess the weapon situation here. I don't think I need a swayhander in the inventory. Also, yes, these. So I'll at least sell this famed cleaver. And I'll keep the better one out of these. I'm not currently using these. Kind of a difficult weapon to make proper use out of. It's a 4 AP kind of stamina intensive weapon, so we'll wait until we have the right candidate before we invest in something like that. Okay, I'll sell one of these fan axes. Though I am a fan of this fan axes. Like I said in a previous episode, would be nice if there is actually a famed version of these. Not sure if there is. But knowing legends, eventually there will be. One would imagine. Okay, the Northern Ritual Helm is actually okay for Battleforged, but we only have one Battleforged, well, two Battleforged people. And we found plenty of famed Battleforged helmet layers already, so I don't think I need to hold on to those. Okay, 56,000 now. Okay, let's take a look at the books. Fit is available. No, that's not bad. Maybe get that. So that would be nice for Payan, the athlete perk. However, I will still take Battle Flow, and that will help quite substantially with the stamina issues already. Is there anyone else who could make use of that? Also, am I getting perfect focus for Engelard? I think I could just get like Berserk. With the nerfs to perfect focus, I think Berserk may actually be better here. This used to be far more powerful than this. Yeah, so if I do end up getting perfect focus for Engelard, I don't think he'll be able to do much with it. So Berserk is probably better, and then we'll also perhaps get Second Wind or maybe Recover. Or a Stamina Rune, something to help with those fatigue costs. Overwhelm is also from that group, it seems. So that would be okay for... Well, actually, yes, that would also be okay for Payan. AoE Overwhelm. He has over 100 initiative. So yeah, if I'm getting a perk group from a book, what else would it be? That seems like a good fit. Fit is a good fit. Now, I'm not sure if this run will go on long enough for him to actually benefit from all of those perks that he will get access to. But yeah, it's something to consider. I guess I'll get the book, but let's not read it yet. Right, check the recruits. I guess I could make use of a historian, perhaps. Seems to be a ranged historian, okay. Do you get slings to benefit from the ranged defense? Gets throwing. Disloyal and ambitious. What a fitting combination. Alright, if the run goes long enough, I guess having a historian for the special perks would be okay. Let's get this guy. And perhaps get the sling perk group for... Oh yes, and somehow I missed. He does have crossbows and bows as well. Anyway, so interpretation allows the user to create scrolls. Created scrolls can be randomly... Scroll of... Okay, that seems to be a bug. Dot not in. Scroll of natural talent, battle scroll, scroll of experience, scroll of training. Okay, I think this has been changed since I last played. This seems to be different. These scrolls will make the user irritable, but with a significantly lower day cooldown than reading a book or scroll. Okay. Laughing at the final word there in that sentence. They also do not negatively impact how many books or scrolls you can read. There will be a trade item, gain 50% additional experience for 3 battles, instantly gain experience or instantly gain 1 training point respectively. Anyways. And also gets Scholar for plus 10% loot. 61 Resolve does get Fortified Mind, so could have been a pretty good sergeant as well. Alright. Welcome aboard, Martin. Yeah, I'll just call you Martin. Okay, let's give him something. I just sold a heavy crossbow, but you can use a sling. Okay, so yeah, I suppose we'll work under the assumption that we will indeed purchase the sling perk group. Make use of this ranged defense. Though, yeah, I could just make another Inspire bot. Honestly, that may be better. Does waste the ranged stars completely, though. Nah, let's just go ranged. So get the sling perks, but perhaps use a different ranged weapon than that. Does not get Pathfinder for throwing, so I think we'll go bows or crossbows. We'll see. Maybe slings. Also, point blank is something we could make good use out of though. Well, yeah, I could, instead of getting slings, get, like, Pathfinder or something. He does have some damage potential, definitely. We'll see, we'll see. With all of that, I think we'll stop recruiting, checking out these low-tier backgrounds here. And yeah, I don't think we'll do any of these contracts. Oh yes, I was meaning to take a look at the Stronghold. Here you can see what you need to build your base. So we have all of the requirements met. You can construct settlement buildings for locations, upgrade your base, unlock more features. Can't build a port here where we are, but we are not building here. Also, does this mention anything about defending it? It doesn't, but we will need to defend it. So let's go to the mod options. Let's see. Stronghold. Guild upgrade fights, base difficulty. Difficulty per wave. Okay, I'll just leave these as they are. Base tiers. I will, I think, leave everything to the default settings. But let's take a look here. Right, keybinds, reforge named item. Okay, so that's a feature of the Stronghold mod. Oh yeah, that actually, yes, perhaps I should have kept this in mind, because I could have kept some garbage famed items and then gambled on them, though I don't know what it costs. Anyway, so yeah, let's go set up the Stronghold around here somewhere. Near... Oh, actually, no. Near Mukhtarhin. Yeah, that's better, because there's the arena there, if I want to make use of that at all. Yeah. So now, let's go to Wacker's Feste, I think. Well, what do you know? More undead. Alright, let's do it. So once again, should be pretty easy, and we should have everything in order here, right? Seemingly. We are not at 100%, but we don't need to be. So do I bring Martin? I guess if I do, he would be at risk from the Savant, so for now let's not. I could babysit him, but let's not. Also switch there. Alright. Now what can I think of to rant about now? We'll see. Anyways, we'll just begin pummeling here, so let's inspire there. Okay, maybe I will, for this battle, spare you from any kind of irrelevant ramblings. Unless something pops to my mind. Hoping we get finally another Banshee essence from this. Right, not quite optimal here. Now we can do this. Where did you go? Over there. Right, 60 melee skill. I'll just... where is the necromancer? Over here somewhere? Now let's go around. There you are. Yes, the savant. I had forgotten it exists. But it certainly does. For now. Get ignored. Actually, now that I think about it, have I misunderstood the perfect focus perk implementation here? So let's see. So fatigue cost will increase by 50%. So does this apply to the perfect focus skill itself, which it seemingly doesn't at the moment? Or does it apply actually to the other skills you can use? I need to see if that's the way it works. Not sure if that's how it works. Though the reap number here seems to be a bit high, yes. So I guess it actually does work like that. 16 is way too much. Alright, so that is quite the nerf in that case. I guess I can see here, so if I use this now... 3, 3, 10. Nope, still the same numbers. For the fatigue costs, so I'm not sure. I don't know, maybe the 16 was correct. I don't know. I have no idea. I should have an idea, but I don't. Maybe it just doesn't work as it should. Because it is not increasing the actual cost of the perfect focus skill at the moment. Matter down. So a couple of Hellenhunds and zombies left. Alright, let's see where they teleport. But yeah, Archid definitely needs some stamina help. I'll actually take a look at him here. Where are you, Archid? There. Okay, so we are getting athlete. Doesn't have access to battle flow. Rebound is there. As is recover. Actually just perhaps gets a recover. Well, with athlete. We'll see, we'll see. Alright, Hellenhunds. I guess just to make this convenient, I should use nets. Maybe I should have already. Better late than never. Stay there. Bad doggy. Wait for the net. Oh, you stupid zombies. Oh, okay. Okay. Mental fatigue is getting to me. Too many zombies. Now, how dare you break free? Alright, zombies left. Oh, and there's one there. There we go. Elder Sandys levels as the only one, it seems. Okay, she is now level 13. Okay, so I did think that the fatigue issues would arise, but so far no. I'll pump up the resolve though for the mind over body. Okay, let's continue. Brigands with Oswald the Odd. Okay, well, that's a change of pace. I did use someone else's... Also, yeah, Alina the Swine could be in instead of someone. I've been kind of disappointed in Wiltrud from the beginning, so I may let her go at some point. Anyways, let's bring Alina the Swine in. I would also like to bring in Martin. Okay, at this point I think I'll let Sunniva go. I'm not really using her. Best of luck to you. Add to obituary. Okay. And yeah, let's let Wiltrud sit this one out. Oh, undead. Oh, don't intercept here. Please don't. Okay, thank you. I can fight two groups at once. I suppose we will. Okay, fine. Fine, we'll do it. Oh, and the warden has spawned way up in the front. And it seems our main enemy is actually the undead here, which is not quite accurate. the game did choose the Brigand soundtrack as well. Anyways, there's some high ground here. Let's take it. Where are you off to? You're supposed to engage. The brigands just want to hold. Can I blame them? Yes. And I will. Okay, so Haldemar's resolve is only 59 now. Let's get closer to them. Maybe they will be triggered enough to do something. Maybe so. Okay, now something's happening. So here is Oswald the Odd with a famed two-handed cleaver. Nice. Alright. Yeah, these undead are just pushovers. Okay. Using an AoE weapon like this gun here to hit one opponent. Let's do it. Wiener Ganger uses throw backup axe and misses Alice. Okay. Okay, buddy. Oh, Oswald is going this way. That is the wrong way. That's also the wrong way. I guess eventually they will come to us. If I don't want to pursue. So it doesn't really matter if they're being coy for now. But yeah, that's a bit annoying. Well, let's move a bit. Somewhat towards them. A little bit. I could go this far, but let's not. Are you guys done? All of you? It seems you are. Oswald is leading from the rear. Like the little verge milksop coward that he is. Okay, I don't trust in Alice by herself to go aggressive here with all of these brigands coming in, so let's just stay where you are. You can just observe. Rude. Okay, wait. Just wait. Move there. Shoot one opponent. I need to get ballistics. I mean, I don't need to get it, but it would help here. Well, we don't need help, of course. So why did I even bring it up? Okay, please attack me. That is not where I am. You cowards. I'm over here. Come kill me. Come kill me now. Come on. Come on. Do it. Do it. I'm here. Kill me. Okay, they're coming. Always invoke Arnold if nothing else works. Alright, Brigand Marauder over there. Guess we'll use Alice, probably. Swordmaster also coming in, though. And Small Sam. Okay. What a name. Okay, I can get Berserk with this on Eldascendis or Gerard. Doesn't really matter, I guess, which one gets it. Okay, let's see. Maybe even go this way. Does feel refreshing to fight something that isn't undead. Anyways, let's go for this guy. Team up. He does have underdog. Are we getting a net there? It looks like probably not. But who needs nets when you can just hit things? Okay, let's bring Thilman over here. And also, did Elin have... No, still doesn't have Patient Hunter. Not patient enough. Let's move there. And odd hit. Just hold somewhere here. Let's use a net there. The dog is fleeing. Maybe this guy was its master. Some people are making some noise outside of my apartment. Seemingly not picked up by the mic. People, what a bunch of bastards. Anyways, let's get next to the dog. Lady Holly. So does have the nimbleness, etc. So can potentially actually take some damage. Even still, I don't need to do so, so let's not. Engelard. I should have left this space for Engelard, but I can rotate and still get 2 reaps. Okay, let's do it. Impressive. Okay. Piercing bolt actually does something. Interesting. Goodbye, Swordmaster. Finish that fool. Then wait. Alright, so who's going to engage engage with Oswald? Who doesn't have a ring? Haldemar is way over there. Well, as long as I don't kill too many of them, he will come to us. think I can get Gerard out of trouble if such trouble is happening. In which case, getting in melee range is fine. Probably fine, and I can rotate with Elin or someone immediately. Let's go for small Sam. Not sure what happened to Big Sam. Okay, time to mark. Decapitate. Okay, let's get Ochit in position. I'll actually not attack here though. Just save the fatigue as well as the AP. Okay, I could use a net here. It's a pretty good one, to be honest. Sure. Okay, let's see. Don't have like a perfect shot lined up. Like a decent one though. Poisoned. Not that we needed it. But it's there. Aton has finally defeated a lone Wienerganger. Tries to get away. Won't succeed. Okay, there we go. Sigbal gets a level. And the famed cleaver is seemingly not very good. Okay. Okay. So let's see. It's a 6 AP cleaver, I think. So the damage wasn't enhanced. Yeah. Anyways, Sigbal level 6. Take some initiative. And tactical maneuvers, I guess. Alright, and before I forget... Okay, continue to Wackersfest. This is the least impactful, threatening greenskin crisis I've ever seen. There's just too many undead blocking those greenskins. Anyways, so Wackersfest. Oh, training equipment is here. It's overpriced. I'll still get it. That's a huge boost in power, though we don't need that boost. It's been too easy. But anyways, I'll get it. Take a look at the books. The bow book is decent, if for nothing else than Patient Hunter. Oh yes, I got rid of the cooking equipment or whatever. Not the kitchen tent, but the one that makes food last longer. Anyways, something to keep in mind when purchasing stuff like fresh milk, which spoils in 2 days. Skip the recruits. So we do have the money. I guess I will purchase some rigorous schooling for a couple of people. Maybe even more than a couple. Okay, let's now camp for a bit again. Prepare some things to sell. Or just to make use of. Also, yes, I just bought the training tent, so now let's actually train people as well. Okay, so let's see here. Everyone who's gathering, that's no longer your priority. We'll just leave the actual cook in the kitchen, so only Leif stays there. Well, actually, let's do it like this. Everyone assigned to the training. And then Leif over here. Where are you? I have misplaced Leif the cook. Where are you? There you are, okay. And then we want one scout. Let it be Wiltrud. And then we want someone repairing. Let it be Shuarita. And maybe one more person. Make it Aldemar. And perhaps one person in the healing tent. So let's assign Volrod. Alright, so now that we do have the training tent, caravan escorts just became the best contract type in the game, in the mod, because we can camp during caravans and do the training. Anyways, let's hold here for a bit. Okay, so the training is starting to pay off already. Lady Holly gains +1 melee skill. Elin didn't learn anything. Some of us got some XP. Gerard gains +1 melee defense. Okay. So yes, but the reason we are in this direction is to make the stronghold near Mukhtarhin. So let's continue towards that. There is also this nomad camp here, which I may deal with. If there's a champion inside, then we definitely will. If not, then maybe not. Oh, finally, a group of undead that is actually perhaps at least a little bit challenging. 30 enemies with, well, only one champion and only one necromancer. But yeah, that's actually something that I'm semi-looking forward to. Hopefully they can actually be at least a little bit threatening. So let's do these levels that we got from training. So Lady Eleanor, level 9. Okay, I will take the resolve, even though the hit points is perhaps better. But I want to get some benefit out of having mind over body. Alright, and then does have battle flow. I guess perhaps we can get Berserk now. Perhaps. Could also take Lithe to go along with Nimbleness, but that would mean more stamina penalties. Perfect Fit is also something I could take. Oh, and actually I hadn't noticed, but apparently it does tell me if the current equipment and stats work for this. So let's see, if I equip something heavier. Yeah, okay, yes, it does tell me. So that's pretty nice. So I could take that. Or something like Pathfinder. I do like Pathfinder. Decide on the weapon mastery at a later date. When we have some famed options. Though let's see. So if I were to equip this 15 stamina to swing it once. Yeah, I don't think Lady Eleanor here is the best candidate to wield something like that. Not for a long time, at least. Needs a lot of help with the stamina side of things. But I suppose we could go with a frontline weapon now, so what would that be? Maybe a mace? Mace is fine. Let's take the Berserk. Like a heavy two-hander. My favorite weapon type is the heavy two-hander in this game. Let's go with the mace. Put you on the flank, I guess. And then Alina the Swine. Okay, I guess I'll rename you. So, title will be just generic frontline trainee. Alright, so is going Battleforged, it seems. Not my first choice. With this amount of hit points, Nimble makes sense. Perhaps I will purchase Nimble or Lithe. But yeah, anyways, let's level here. Takes the Resolve, takes the melee things. And takes Colossus, sure. Alright, so yeah, this fight, and then potentially this fight, maybe some arena, but most importantly, perhaps finally, we will set up this Stronghold next time. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you then.